to cancel from you, but I did not.
All right, another story we're following for you. By-elections are being held in South Africa. And then, of course, the IEC, the Electoral Commission, is gearing up for local government elections to be held on the 27th of October. But there are issues, including funding and, of course, the possibility of a third wave as COVID-19 infections pick up. To discuss all things electoral, we're joined by SABC reporter Natasha Phiri in studio for us. Thank you, Natasha. Let's start with the by-elections. Who's going to vote, and are any of these races going to be very hot?
A very hotly contested by-election is actually expected on Wednesday, Francis. But before that, just a reminder to our SABC viewers that there are special votes that are taking place tomorrow. Over 10,000 people are registered to take part in those special votes. Of course, on Wednesday, we have by-elections in 40 wards across 25 municipalities in 251 voting districts. And of course, this is across all 7 provinces in the country, and 360,000 registered voters will actually take part. On the question of, are they going to be hotly contested? Indeed. We know that Gauteng, has the highest numbers of wards that will be contested. Particularly for me, what actually stood out, you have Ward 17 in El Dorado Park, which is under the DA run municipality. You have the likes of the DA, you have the likes of Al Jamaa, which is, a newly formed party, also contesting that ward. Ward 58 in Tshwane, which is ANC run. Just a reminder to our viewers that they won that ward from the DA in 2016. So these are just some of the wards that are actually up for grabs. And also quite interesting to note is that you've got a number of independent candidates out of those 145 candidates that are also, just vying for these positions.
And everybody will be watching, is this a test of who will do well in the local government elections? Also, this is seen as a sort of test run in terms of those COVID-19 protocols. The IEC has been gearing up for that for a very long time. And it's been sounding very confident about the local government elections coming up in October. But now, what if things get bad in terms of COVID-19 in the interim?
Definitely, Francis. So today we had an interview with the IEC's Deputy Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Chiburi, and he had said, listen, if push comes to shove, if we do indeed see those COVID numbers actually skyrocket, then unfortunately they'll be forced to actually postpone things, as the IEC, or postpone the local government elections, unfortunately. But, I think one thing that is of concern, we know that the last installment of by-elections is actually on the 30th of June. Also, that very important weekend, the 17th and the 18th of July, is when voters are actually, pleaded to actually, register to vote. So, there are concerns around COVID-19 protocols then,
yeah.
But the IEC is quite confident that, they've got all protocols.
Right. Well, let's see what happens. Some political parties have been calling for the delay. Like
Indeed.
You say, it's not only October, it's the registration drive, the registration weekend in July, and the by-elections before that. The IEC also facing some financial difficulties. What's happening?
Definitely. So the IEC tabled its budget in Parliament on the 7th of May, and approximately, as it stands right now, their budget, which has rolled over from last year, is sitting around 1.3 billion rand. But unfortunately, their budget has been cut by 35 million rand. But now, Francis, it's also quite interesting to note that, since 2019, we've seen those budget cuts as well. Yet again, another budget cut. And also, the results of this, or the consequences of these budget cuts, results in that one voter registration weekend from the 17th to the 18th of July because of those budget cuts. We've also
so we would have seen more. Now
exactly,
we're seeing one, yeah.
Exactly. So right now, what you also have is that they're changing the way of voter registration. So instead of face-to-face interactions, what we're used to, those IEC drives, we'll be actually seeing a different kind of voter registration, some sort of campaign. So they'll be looking at their social media accounts. They'll be looking at more radio, interviews or TV interviews like we're doing right now to actually, educate the voter around the IEC.
All right, thank you for that update. And she'll follow those by-elections for us. Natasha Phiri in studio, SABC reporter. Let's take a look at